How are you?
Fine, and you?
Hi. Who is our banner?
Money.
How are you?
Fine, and you?
Good.
Nice to see you.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, it has been a while.
Is this for the parliamentarian?
No,
This
no.
was always
Yeah, I think the parliamentarian must be the other side. Yeah. Oh, I think Christine.
No, where's she?
Maybe just in case. Yeah, you can just. Oh, yeah. Sorry. You know where our banner is?
I'm going to get it.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Speaker, honorable members, our invited guests from the civil society organizations, senior colleagues from Parliament and from other organizations, Mr. Lenny Mabakeng, the Chief Development Planner for the National Planning Commission, Ms. Christine Laser from the EPDN program, everybody that can hear my voice, good morning, and you are welcome. When you look on the program, you will see that on the item of welcoming and introductions, we have Ms. Lydia Kandetu, the Secretary of the National Assembly. I am greeting you on behalf of Ms. Kandetu, our Secretary, who is not at the moment here. She's on other official duties, and I'll be standing in for her. My name is Joyce Nakuta. I'm the Director for Community Services here at the National Assembly. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, we have with us 24 civil society organizations that we have invited. And our purpose for today, we have later on in the day that we will elaborate on it more. But the purpose of us inviting 24 civil society organizations, together with Parliament, and the theme for this day is access to Parliament. Our program coordinator, Mr. Willem Isak, will elaborate more on why this theme and why these civil society organizations. But for all of us who are in the room, honorable members, these are organizations that we are working with, directly and indirectly. You are very familiar with them through the standing committees. You have been engaging them. So we are having this opportunity today to meet with them at Parliament in a different form or at a different platform as when you are subpoenaing them to come and witness before the standing committees. So our interaction for today is rather informal, and we hope that with our interaction of today, we will improve the coordination and the working relationship between us and civil society organizations. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, with that welcoming, I would like to ask Mr. Lenny Mabakeng from the National Planning Commission to do a few remarks, and then I'll ask Christine from the Enhancing Participatory Democracy Program here in Namibia also to say something before our Honorable Speaker will be opening our meeting. So with that, I'm handing over to Taleni. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
As I have already been introduced, my name is Taleni Mabakeng. I am the head of multilateral programs, or officially known as the Chief National Development Advisor for multilateral programs at the National Planning Commission. Is it loud enough? Okay.
Just speak into it.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, at the National Planning Commission, and I am here to stand
sound
in.
is not okay.
Sorry?
The quality of the sound.
Can you hear me now?
Was
Can you hear me now?
volume. We can't hear.
Okay. Switch off the other. We'll use both. Can you hear me now? Okay. Okay, as I was saying, I am here on behalf of my Director of Development Partners Coordination, Mr. Ned Sivea, who could not be here with us today because he is on official mission as well. Okay. Director of Ceremony, Ms. Joyce Nakuta. Honorable Professor Dr. Peter Kashavivi, Speaker of the National Assembly. Honorable Members of Parliament present, members of the Diplomatic Corps, representatives of the civil society, staff members of the European Union delegation of Namibia, senior government officials, the EPDN technical assistance team, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. It is with distinct honor that I, on behalf of the government of the Republic of Namibia, in general, the National Planning Commission in particular, form part of this memorable occasion. Allow me to begin by outlining the National Planning Commission's role and authority with respect to international development cooperation interventions in Namibia. Article 129 of the Namibian Constitution mandates and the establishment of the National Planning Commission, while the National Planning Commission Act of 2013 details the responsibility of the National Planning Commission, which includes mobilizing, managing, coordinating resources through international development cooperation. While the government of the Republic of Namibia is by far the major contributor to the national development budget, it continues to solicit support from development partners to contribute towards accelerating economic growth, to complement the government's resources, and to augment the government's development efforts towards Namibia's industrialization aspiration, all with the overarching aim of uplifting the standards of living of the Namibian population. The National Planning Commission engages all its development partners on the basis of mutual accountability, alignment with national development strategies, and local ownership. Our developmental efforts are guided by Vision 2030, the Sustainable Development Goals, National Development Plans, Harambee Prosperity Plans, the Africa Agenda 2063, the Busan Partnership for Effective Development Cooperation, the Accra Agenda for Action, and the Paris Declaration on Aid Effectiveness. Despite being classified as an upper middle income country in 2009, with a then per capita GDP of 68,500 and a Gini coefficient of 0.59%, social imbalances persist, and Namibia continues to face multiple developmental challenges, which includes poverty and income inequality, high unemployment, as well as human resource capacity constraints. As a result, some development partners have modified our mode of cooperation, mainly for socio-economic development. The Development Assistance Committee of Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, identifies the European Union and its member states as the world's leading provider of ODA in Namibia. European development assistance represents 57% of the total global development assistance by all OECD development partners. The European Union promotes good governance supports human and economic development, and addresses global issues, including fighting poverty, hunger, and preserving natural resources. European Union development efforts reflect the 5 Ps of the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, for example, people, planet, prosperity, peace, and partnership. The European Development Fund, which is called the EDF, is the European Union's main instrument for providing development aid to Africa, Caribbean, and Pacific countries, and is funded with contributions from the European Union member states. The 10th EDF in Namibia covered the period of 2008 to 2013 and was valued at 865 million Namibian dollars, with 5 focal areas of education sector policy, support program, communal land development project, accelerating the reduction of maternity and child mortality, support to vocal education and training, and climate change adaptation and mitigation. In 2013, in line with the objective of enhancing the effectiveness and impact of European Development Cooperation, the EU partners in Namibia agreed to join a joint EU response strategy for Namibia, which the EU and member states adhere to when preparing bilateral programs. The EU's National Indicative Program, which is also known as the NIP, represented an important step in the programming and EDF programs in Namibia. The NIP was developed in close cooperation and consultation with government to ensure that the NIP supports national priorities where the EU can add value. In understanding the origins of the EDF 11, EPDN, which is the Enhancing Participatory Democracy in Namibia program, it is important to understand that the EPDN was preceded by 2 related 10th EDF European Union funded programs between 2010 and 2016. And those were the Namibia Civil Society Support Program and the Parliament Support Program. As both of these programs drew to a close, the program of the next round of European aid funding commenced. 2 global objectives of new funding were identified: increasing the capacity of civil society organizations and parliament to collaborate in the oversight of public policies and programs; increasing the capacity of civil society and government to collaborate in the implementation of public policies and programs, in particular the sectors of education, skills, and rural development. Informed by the outcomes of earlier programs and being aware of interdependencies of civil society and participatory democracy, it was jointly decided that targeting both these global objectives under one program would increase the likelihood of achieving the identified objectives. In terms of the program architecture and management perspective, the program consists of 2 components: a grant component under direct management by the EU delegation, and a technical assistant component under indirect management by the National Planning Commission, also known as the National Authorizing Officer. A program steering committee has been established to oversee the validation and overall direction of the program, and the memberships are as follows: a representative of the contracting authority who is chairing the meetings, a technical assistant team, which is the secretariat, a representative from the National Planning Commission, a representative from the National Assembly, representative from the National Council, 3 representatives from the civil society, the Namibian Association of CBNRM Support Organization, Institute for Public Policy Research, Civil Society Information Center, also known as Civic Plus 264, which are voting members as well, and finally the European Union delegation to the Namibia as an observer. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to bring you back as to why we are here today. Following the first interface meeting that was held between the CSOs and the Secretariat of Parliament, which was organized by the EPDN in January 2022, a number of suggestions were made on how CSOs and Parliament can enhance their collaboration towards improving Parliament oversight. This will be the second interface meeting, which is aimed at bringing members of Parliament and CSOs in order to appreciate the common sphere of operations in the context of oversight and accountability, and define the extent and vehicles of collaboration as permissible and workable within the existing legal environment and rules of procedure established by Parliament. I would like to express appreciation and gratitude of cooperation shown by the CSOs and institutions from government, including Parliament, during the implementation of the EPDN program thus far. And finally, I would want to acknowledge the European Union for this worthwhile intervention, and more broadly, the ongoing support to Namibia's national development initiatives, and also allow me to express our sincere appreciation for a solid and cordial relationship that continues to strive in efforts to build Namibia, and let us continue to work together towards prosperity. I do hereby wish all of us a very fruitful deliberations. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Mabakeng. Can we give her another round of applause? Ms. Mabakeng has outlined the relationship between us as Parliament and the support that the National Planning Commission is giving Parliament in making sure that we are reaching out to civil society organizations. So we appreciate the partnership between Parliament as the legislator and National Planning Commission as the entity responsible in the executive to make sure that there is a relationship between us and the civil society organizations. Thank you very much, Ms. Mabakeng. With that, I would like to hand over to Christine. Christine will be doing a presentation. Honorable Speaker, if you and Taleni can move to the chair next to her. Honorable Speaker will move to where I'm sitting, and then we'll give Christine an opportunity to present. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director of Ceremony. Honorable members of Parliament, officials from Parliament and the National Planning Commission, the EU delegation, civil society organization representatives, and members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. I have to come closer. Okay, is it better now? Yes. Okay, great. It is a great pleasure to speak about the project with, I think, the tongue-twisting abbreviation, EPDN. It took me a long time to learn it, to be honest. EPDN stands for Enhancing Participatory Democracy in Namibia. Participatory democracy is, to my mind, a very big word, and a word potentially full of expectations and full of hopes. As we all know, worldwide democracies are under threat from within and from without, and in some parts of the world, even in Europe, civic space is shrinking. Hostility and violent conflicts between humans seem, sadly, to be forever growing in the face of multiple crises we face as humanity. Hence, coming together to dialogue and seek to improve cooperation is, to my mind, ever more important. We from EPDN are a small project with a small team in a very beautiful and very big country with a young democracy and many people who potentially want to have their say and take part in the making of the legislative and policy frameworks that shapes their daily life. So I'm grateful to have with my team offices in this Parliament, the place where very important decisions are taken which impact the lives of so many. We are glad to be part of the National Assembly's today's event, and as Taleni, my colleague, has already mentioned, this is the second of such an event. The first took place in January 2022 under my predecessor. This meeting was planned for some time ago, but as we all know, the best laid plans of mice and men, well, life at Parliament gets sometimes unexpectedly more busy than it usually is. And believe me, when the members are here, it is very buzzing and very busy. But here we are today, and thinking about the shrinking space for democracy, this event bringing civil society into this house to find ways of improving collaboration is for me a truly opportunity to forge ways to enhance participatory democracy for the months and hopefully years to come. My thanks goes to all who were involved in the preparation of this event and for all who made time to be here with us today. Thank you. Now I would like to give you a little bit of an insight into our program. I hope to be relatively brief. So, what is enhancing participatory democracy in Namibia, this program? We have 3 results to achieve. The first one is collaborating with Parliament, focusing on oversight. And today's event, as you all know, is dedicated to this part. Then there is the part collaborating with civil society to enhance policy engagement capacities. And then, as in many European Union funded programs, it is all about public awareness, and I'm very grateful to the colleagues from the IT section that this event is actually live streamed, and for those 50% of people of Namibia who have actually access to internet, this is an opportunity to see what we are doing here. Thank you. So what are we? Helene already gave a bit of a background. We are a technical assistance program. That means we are not a grant project. We cannot give grants to civil society. We are a team of 3 permanent members, Dr. Tepko, Mrs. Fernando, me, myself, Christine Leiser, and then we also have an intern, Mr. Bock. We are supported by a team of short-term experts. That's part of the nature of a technical assistance program. We are thriving to find local expertise, which there is plenty of, and work with not so many international experts, because we think that this is part of a development cooperation to tap into the skills of the country. We are, as Helene already explained, supported by a steering committee, and I'm very grateful to the members because it's an additional task they are all doing in order to steer us through this program. This is the first result. I skipped through it because I already mentioned it, and it's this sometimes very bulky European jargon. So let me just skip this and tell you more concrete what we are actually doing under each result area. So, in order to provide oversight, of course, members of Parliament, the staff members of both houses have to have a huge skill set. So we are trying, or we are offering to improve how, for instance, oversight missions, which you all are very well aware of, are undertaken, and how to best support this process. We have in the past supported Parliament to set up a budget committee. We are currently with the National Council, because we work with both houses, supporting the conduction of hearings linked to the causes of the high failure rates for the 2022 grade 11 and grade 12 examinations. We are planning at the moment such a hearing for Windhoek and civil society, and of course the members will be invited to this event. Simplify the whole making of a law until it leaves Parliament and is published in the official Gazette. This is going to be launched in the coming month, and for me it's a great success. The 2 countries I'm living in usually, one of the 2, Germany, has not got this very participatory tool, and I'm looking forward for Parliament to launch it officially. So this is just an example. So there's a bill referring to a communal rent reform, and the members of public can exactly follow from whom the bill was actually handed in, and in which stage it is in its development process. We have also, thanks to the good cooperation with our colleagues from the public relation, we have facilitated the idea to have a platform, an invitation platform between the standing committees regarding their oversight visits and public hearings, and more than 30 civil society representatives are actually part of this WhatsApp group, and those who are not part of this WhatsApp group yet and want to become part, please come to me, I take your telephone number and add you onto it. We are but the administrator of this, supporting the Assembly in this outreach moment. We are in the moment also developing a user-friendly guidebook on how to collaborate with Parliament, again both houses. Under Result 2, and I'm speeding up now because this is now the part where we work closely with government and in particular with the National Planning Commission. Last year there was a review of a policy that should have guided the collaboration between civil society organizations and government. It resulted in a very long report which includes an idea on how to take this further, and the idea is called Framework of Engagement, and we have presented this as a draft at various occasions, and we are currently in the discussion with are benefiting or not benefiting by decentralizing social and other services. And I'm soon coming to the end. We are currently conducting a needs assessment for CSO's umbrella organization in regard to their capacities to how to work with Parliament and government. And we have reached out to 14 umbrella organizations because we see in an umbrella organization a multiplier, and we rather train the umbrella than everybody else. So the umbrella can take on the knowledge and then spread it out among their members. And we have developed a capacity development program for these civil society umbrellas, which consists of a training cycle, which, for instance, would like to learn with the civil society organizations on how to write a policy paper or how to meaningfully engage actually with the Parliament, because very often there's a big misunderstanding on actually how to get access to Parliament, what we are talking today about. We are also developing a participatory polling tool for civil societies, umbrellas. Very often, when we talk to civil society, the organization says that they are not involved. When they are in Wimbo or in Swakop, they are not involved what's happening here in the capital. And they want to be more engaged and more included, so we thought we're developing a tool which will be shared with the umbrellas so they can reach out via emails to their members. For instance, let me give you an example, National Development Plan number 6. So an organization, an umbrella, could reach out to their members and say, what are the main issues? What do you want to be reflected in the National Development Plan number 6? And so there would be a feedback and people would feel that they have a say. Because what we all understand is we cannot all constantly be traveling through the country or invite people to here. It's just not cost effective. We have planned with Parliament an NGO day for next February. And yeah, we will have to start organizing it from November on. Now. Okay, then we have a communication and visibility strategy. We are currently trying to do a documentary about the milestone of the project. We have reached out to civil society. We have reached out to both houses. The National Planning Commission is well aware of it. We have a website and a Facebook page. And please, whenever you have the time, look at our Facebook as our website, because what we try to do is actually, we have included a knowledge hub, one for civil society organization and one for parliament, where we try to share that this is a learning, it's an ongoing platform or an ongoing hub. We try to share all interesting information from Africa about how other parliaments are working, how other civil society are working, what kind of documentation there is, we share. So please feel free to visit us. Thank you. If anybody wants to see us, as I said, we are kindly hosted by Parliament. We have the office number 47. Please come and talk to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Christine,
You're welcome.
for elaborating on what EBDN is doing in Parliament. I'm sure all of us have now a very good understanding of how you support us through your technical assistance, how you support the Namibia Parliament through your technical assistance. With that, thank you very much. We are soon reaching the end of our official opening part, and this is my time to hand over to our Honorable Speaker, Professor Peter Kachavivi, who will be opening our session of today. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, over to you.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Am I loud enough? Whew. What a beginning, eh? It just took me back, I don't know what to say, but we've been on this journey for quite a number of years. The role of civil society organization relating to government, to parliament, etc. I mean, it just reminded me during my time at the National Planning Commission, some of these important issues that we had, how we discussed them and so on. And I just, you know, it raises a number of issues when you hear all these things. But let me not be carried away. Let me calm down and come back to Director of Ceremony, Ms. Nakuta, honorable members of Parliament, Ms. Lactut, Deputy Head of the EU Delegation, the EPDN Program Team Leader, Christine Leisa, and the rest of the team represented here under that important program, Ms. Natalia Rosman, the country representative of Konrad Adenauer Stiftung, and of course, as we all know, she's responsible not only for Namibia, but also covers Angola as well. Our officials, both of the National Council and the National Assembly, civil society organization, distinguished representatives who are responsible for this important work as far as the civil society organizations, and I've recognized a number of faces I know of, people who have been actively engaged in civil society organization for a number of years, who obviously have accumulated a lot of experience in this important field. Members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, I'm extremely delighted to join you this morning here. The work in this area is important to me because throughout my life, many years I spent outside this country, I've been working in partnership with civil society organizations. They are important. They are a lifeline in many ways when it comes to particular aspect of the work, whether it's at the political level, whether it's at any other level, humanitarian. There have been tested individuals who have chosen themselves to serve others. And it gives me a great pleasure to officiate at this important interface event between Parliament and civil society organizations. I'm pleased to be part of this noble and commendable initiative towards the advancement of good governance, and the whole idea of accountability. Bringing development and development efforts, how big or small they might be, under the policy, under the public eye, and expose it to scrutiny should be an ongoing exercise. Contributing to the checks and balances that we need to have in our society in order to solidify and together pursue our development goals. The role of civil society is not just a question of monitoring what we do, what the government does, but it is a partnership, working together for the common good. No question about it. So there's no debate about that. We're in it together for the purpose of contributing to nation building. Today's interface with our civil society plays a pivotal role in strengthening parliamentary democracy and ensuring the effective functioning of Parliament's role as an oversight institution. They are there to assist us to make sure the work is done in the most efficient way. The existence of a sound and harmonious relationship between civil society and Parliament is the cornerstone of a modern democratic systems. So receiving you here this morning and be with you this morning, it raises so much expectation, because it reminds you of what we are all in it for the purpose of building and assisting us to make sure that we win, we have a win-win outcome. This day, therefore, explore the importance of civil society engagement with Parliament, highlighting public participation, involvement of parliamentary business, rules engagement, as witnessed by those who are there to observe what we do, by those who are there as lobbyists, and I used to be one of those, lobbying for the good cause to make sure that the government and the Parliament attend to urgent issues that concern the welfare of our people. And of course, we're also there to petition Parliament in order to arrive at an informed decision-making. Every day when we meet in Parliament, the first item that I call is to inquire as to whether we have petition. Is any petition? That says a lot about the fact that we expect people to petition us in order to draw our attention to important particular issues that should enjoy the attention of Parliament and the government in general. Therefore, we are here at Parliament to partake in what we call interface, as it serves as a building block to lay a strong foundation to enhance accountability and transparency within our parliamentary system and processes. Perhaps it's very easy to say these things, but we need to internalize them. And when I'm looking at all of us sitting here together for the purpose of basically doing this, it places a particular responsibility on all of us. And I think it is important and to pause for a moment, for a day, for half a day, to come together and do what we're doing this morning. And I hope this will represent an important step, and we need to reinforce this. It should not be just a one-day event and that's it, we leave. But it's something that we should actually mark in our calendar to make sure that it is done annually for a purpose. And I like our colleague from ETBN when they review the activity that they are doing here, reminding us some of the things, some of the milestones we have achieved, some of the things that are outstanding. It also reminds me during my time at the National Planning Commission, 2008 to 2009, we had a number of issues that we were interacting with, critical and very important issue, and it all needed to be sustained to make sure that at the end of the day we build a culture that we profess to support and to aspire to. As civil society organizations, you serve as a watchdog on government actions, ensuring that both government and parliament operate in an open, transparent, and accountable manner by monitoring legislative proceedings and scrutinizing government policies. All these things are very important that we welcome and take to heart because they serve to make sure that we maintain that culture of accountability. The presence of a formidable civil society role players in our society helped to deal effectively with issues of corruption and maladministration, unethical practices, and thereby fostering trust in both government and parliamentary systems. As organizations that are close to the people at the grassroots, another critical dimension where you can and must play a pivotal role is to continue to hold us parliamentarians and government accountable for our actions. It is only through creating and maintaining the missing link of proper checks and balances that we can build a better, dignified society. A society built on trust, on accountability, where our people have confidence in national institutions. It cannot be just a kind of a slogan or an expression. We have to live up by that. But remember, there is also a need to hold civil society organizations accountable for their work. We are not only there to monitor other people, but we should also stand tall to make sure that we too aspire to those principles which we want other people to live by. Director, ceremonies, members of parliament, ladies and gentlemen, as a parliament, we will continue to strengthen this important relationship to promote inclusivity and parliamentary decision-making, hence where the voice of our people, the citizens of this country. Let us hear the diverse point of views, voice concerns of our citizens, and let us allow citizens to participate in our democratic processes and have a say in the policies that affect their lives. I observe with great admiration and passionate involvement of some of our civil society organizations, particularly when it comes to issues affecting our communities, and particularly our people, the citizens of this country who live in the remote areas of this country. And it's a vast country. We need to broaden the role of civil society to be equally active in rural and remote parts of our country. We cannot all be urban-based. We need to broaden that, make sure that we do not lose any of the particular challenges that affect our people, particularly at this time when we are faced with serious drought and other challenges. We need also to have those of you who are involved in this important field to keep an eye on what goes on in different parts of our great country. Both as Parliament and civil society organization, we must come to terms with the reality that our partnership deserves proper nurturing, management, and accountability. We need to strengthen the linkages. It is my belief that we will continue to have this type of interaction randomly in order to compare notes, learn from each other in terms of whatever shortcomings that there might be in order to build a society governed by accountability, integrity, and selflessness. On Friday, 15 September, we will observe the International Day of Democracy. Therefore, today's interface gives us, Parliament, an opportune moment to take stock of our role and interaction with our civil society colleagues, and it is timely that we had an opportunity to do so. Director of Ceremony, members of Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, I truly believe that today's event will go down as one of the milestones of EPDN, engagement between our civil society and Parliament. The importance of continued civil society engagement with Parliament cannot be overstated. Parliament legitimacy is reinforced when its decisions reflect the needs and wishes and aspirations of the broad citizens of our country. I want to encourage EPDN to take this initiative to the regions along in partnership with our civil society organization so as to allow people outside the capital city to appreciate that nation building requires a partnership, working together. We say in one of our local languages, one finger would not do much, but all collectively being utilized can do wonders. And I think that is true. With these remarks, without wasting your time, as you have learned a great deal from all those who spoke before me, I have the honor to open this engagement with our civil society and to wish you all fruitful and constructive interactions. It has been a great pleasure to be with you, and I will continue to be with you, and looking forward to the big event at the beginning of 2024, when we have what we call an open forum for Parliament. I've taken note of the fact that several sister parliaments, not only in Africa but also in Europe, do have this kind of event. It's called an open day. It's an opportunity where we open up and basically stop for a while to engage those who come our way, visitors who want to know more about what Parliament is all about. And this is a great event that we should really prepare for, so that it is a great opportunity for us to continuously be open to our citizens who like to learn more about the work of Parliament. That's said and done. Thank you. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. Can we give him another round of applause? Honorable Speaker, we are amazed that every time we invite you, whether it's on talking about collaboration and partnership, democracy, accountability, you do it with so much passion. There is no area that we can catch you off guard. You can speak and you can bring in your personal experiences of over the years. So we really want to thank you. You are such an inspiration to us. We really wish you well, and thank you for not only making time, but really when you speak, you inspire, and we appreciate that. So thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable members, we are getting ready for the real business of the day. I think we'll take a short break. There will be tea outside. This day is about networking. This day is about fostering a real relationship, brushing shoulders, rubbing shoulders, and getting to meet the MPs one-on-one. The MPs are here, civil society. You are at the right place. So please enjoy a cup of tea. Let's break for 15 minutes, and then we come back for a panel discussion.
Just jump in.
Sorry.
One of my